This is a D Celtic. Instruments or this scale, feel free to ask. Enjoying the weather. It's super beautiful. I was just on the Cape and super warm and very seasonable weather. I'll take this warm weather as long as we'll get it. For slightly cooler weather, but the leaves have been spectacular around here. And now that I'll be complaining about it being too cold, so I won't wish it on us earlier than we need to. Yeah, I've really kind of failed at social media recently. I've had so many things going on personally that I've kind of put all of this stuff on the back burner a little bit. But hopefully when all this settles out, I'll be a little more available on here. I'm going to relaunch a YouTube channel as well. So anyone who's watching this that's hearing this, I'm going to create a secondary channel, maybe two actually, but one for the beginning. Because I think that YouTube, because this is so old, is not really putting these videos out there. So I think I'm going to make a new one, restart. I still use this channel too, but link videos across these. And maybe have one that's handpan specific, and then one that's a little more lifestyle specific. I'm going to be moving again, so changes soon. Can you guys think of any ideas for names of new YouTube channel names related to this kind of? I know Amy, my friend Amy, has renamed hers. It's more like handpan lesson oriented. So we shall see. We shall see. Any ideas? Feel free to write them. I'm curious what you guys think. I want to show you guys too, since there's some people that I actually know in here. Something that I've been doing recently that's kind of fun, and I wrote it on. I'll play it in a second on a different scale. But if you do a roll with your left hand, and I'm using middle finger and pointer finger, and I'm flicking off as I'm turning my fingers down like this. If you do that, you can actually play the harmonics with the right hand while doing the roll with the left hand, and it sounds really interesting. Let me find a better note for you. Try this one. Yeah, I'll use a different scale. This one's too bright. So this is a better example of that. So if I'm doing a roll with the left hand, right? Pretty interesting. So I've been trying to use this in context in a couple of different ways, but I like it a lot. I think there's a lot of potential for making a roll sound a little bit cleaner. The thing with rolls too is that they tend to be a little a little bit annoying if you hear too much of them. And if you try to bring your roll down low on the note and use the harmonics that are furthest away from your finger. So I'm doing just using my pointer finger, so I'm doing like harmonic roll, keeping this pattern. So one harmonic, and building from that. It's kind of a fun way of playing it, and it's a nice alternative too. So, interesting thing. In context, it would sound like this. When I'm playing this, I'm trying to alternate my right hand. So I'm counting to 6, basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slap, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could slow this way down as well. But when you're doing it, it's kind of a fun thing to practice so that your left hand pointer and thumb are alternating with each other. So if I'm playing this, I'm doing thumb, pointer, pointer, thumb, pointer, thumb. Or you could just keep the same finger. So I'm basically doing pointer, thumb, thumb, pointer, pointer, thumb. And then I'm repeating that process. The second line is going to start with whatever finger didn't start that. And you can reach out if you need clarity on that. But basically, the first line is pointer, thumb, pointer. Second line is thumb, pointer, thumb. And then you reverse on the third time and repeat the process again. This keeps your left hand a little bit more separate. I find that when you go to add melody to a hand, if you're static with the finger that's being used, people have a hard time converting to something more melodic than just sort of a percussion thing. So highly recommend trying that. And also that bounce, once you have that movement comfortable, it's really easy to bounce. My right hand's just doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So, kind of a fun thing. If you guys have any questions about instruments, you want to see a particular scale of handpan or rev, I probably have it. So feel free to ask for people that aren't already subscribers. And I also offer one-on-one Zoom lessons and group lessons. I'm just finishing up a big group Zoom class this month. So would love to work together if you want to play song-based music. I'll play you guys a little something on this pygmy. I absolutely love this scale. Maybe is one of my favorite instruments. And sorry for the beeping in the background. For some reason my computer's not liking my other camera plugged in at the moment, so I will unplug it. How's the audio and video quality on this too? Is it pretty good? Bass probably is not going to sound very good on this, but what can we expect from YouTube? Piece from the album. This is called Dissolution. If you have any questions in the interim, feel free to ask. If you want to know anything as well, if you want to learn a particular technique, I can demo that for you and talk about that as well. Be sure to like this as well if you're watching this live. It helps me out. Pygmy. And it's made by Handpan, a company that I work with for instruments for students. And this is probably the best F2 Pygmy I've ever played in my entire life. It's fantastic. Inner Existence here can attest to how nice this one sounds on the stage as well. And if you listen to the album, this is the first song on the album, I believe. Hey, buddy. bottle notes. I really like these rhythm rest pads. I have to do a little demo for them because they sent me them, but they're really nice, and they do a good job keeping them on your lap, and they also sound really nice on low instruments because it kind of gives the bottom shell more ability to resonate. So highly recommended if you're looking for something that kind of feels good on your legs, but it also is great for the sound as well. So, all right. You guys want to hear anything in particular? I have a bunch of funky instruments up here. Happy to grab one. Show you guys the Luna. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, this one's... Filling flat. Yeah, left hands, we can do a moon for sure. I can also play the Mystic for sure. Let me do the moon first, and then I'll grab the Mystic. So I happen to have which moons up here? Let's take a look. So I'm having a little bit of a dilemma with Rab at the moment. They've become a little bit different to work with recently. So I'm supposed to be going to represent them at Pan Marco in Florida. I don't know if anybody's in Florida, but I'll be performing and also teaching. And I'm supposed to be vendoring for Rab at Pan Marco. But hopefully it happens. It seems like they might be backing out, but fingers crossed that they don't do that because it's going to put me in a predicament if they do. I will not be very pleased if so. So yes, I'll play the Mystic Summit Neck, no problem. Happy to play it. So this is, universal scale. There may be some new releases from Rab. They're also having a crazy sale right now. The the G pentatonic, B Anolio, and A Marmara are all $650, which is pretty insane. But their pricing has been like all over the place, so highly recommended. All right, so here's the universal scale, which is actually my first instrument. I have an A Russ, which is a universal scale. Especially because it has such an interesting assortment of scales, or not scales, triads and diodes available. It's very different than a lot of the other scales. Let me grab the G Mystic 7 really quick. I'll talk a little bit about that. Okay. G Mystic 7. So I like the moons for particular things. I actually think moons have a place for voice and flutes and other things of that manner. Hey Crystal, how's it going? I didn't find another instrument, so if you know of anyone with the D minor and they can do it, I'm happy to borrow. Thank you for asking. I do think the moons are great. I actually love them a lot and I play them frequently. I still haven't adapted them to my playing style. Sweet. If you're willing to part with it for a day, I'm happy to trade you another instrument for a day. I can grab it tomorrow or something. But anyway, so the moons, I think that they are probably going to realize their full potential when they're put on a larger shell. The moons are the best small travel instrument right now, I think. But the sustain means that you have to work with them in a different way. With the rev, there's a lot of sustain, but it's a lower pitch, so it sounds a little bit different. I will do that, Crystal, definitely. Let's see, Florian Berto, first time here since I say something, and bought a, oh, that's awesome. Congrats on the B curry. That's probably one of my favorite scales aside from the pygmy. Fantastic instrument. Highly recommended for all new players. Glad you're here, Florian. I was just showing one of the people in here, Nick, asked to see the G Mystic 7. This is my scale that they produced for me. Rewild Your Soul signature scale. So this one, the goal of this one is to have a percussive area. And I had talked about trying to activate two different notes. So if you hit to the bottom right, you get one pitch. If you hit the center, you get the harmonic of the left note. Oops, froze there for a second. You hit the bottom pitch. Yeah, I think the percussive area is a great spot. It's good for starting off a piece or as like a breakdown where you pull the rhythm off of the center note and put it there. So if I was going to do that, I do play it a lot. I just haven't posted a lot of videos with it because they had stopped promoting it or having it available for a while, and then it kind of fell out of the cycle of videos, but I do play it a lot. It is similar to the pygmy scale, so it's something that where you could pretty much easily transfer one to the other. But the song on the album that I have on this is probably not my favorite, but one of my favorite songs on that Wild Spaces album. So for any of the 14 people watching, feel free to hit like. That helps me get viewed on here, and since my channel is so ancient, any help is highly thanked. So feel free to hit like as well. See you, Dorian. Thanks for hanging out. So I'll play a little snippet of a piece that I wrote on here, and then if you guys have scales you want to see, let me know, and I'm happy to pull them out. I have a lot of scales, so I can probably find a version of whatever scale you want to hear. So let me know in the comments. I also think this Mystic is probably one of the best sounding rabs that I own. I agree. It has a different feel, even though it's only a couple notes different than the pygmy. It really has a beautiful draw from it. I like that. I like that. Yeah, the Mystic is amazing. It's a very different scale than other ones, but I like it because it forces you to play it in a different way, especially with the percussive area at the bottom. So, recommended if you can get a hold of one. They're still offering them. I think there's a couple of the custom ones still available. But I like this gold finish too. I'm kind of sold on this color. So, listen to the center note too. It has such a nice harmonic on the center. Really beautiful. All right, name me another scale you want to hear. I also have a couple instruments. I actually have a B Celtic double ding for sale currently. If anyone's on the lookout for a double ding. I'm selling off some of my doubles. I have duplicates of a lot of scales just because I teach on them. Yeah, I agree, it is a nice touch. Florian, this is a B curd, one of my favorite scales. The B curd is pretty much one of the most useful scales that they make. It's good for all sorts of playing styles, but I'll play you a song. Maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't. Humayun. So Humayun, I didn't even get one because I didn't want one. It's just not a useful scale. I think if they had an E center, actually try this on the virtual player. If you go on Pulsar's website or even Yashama's website, you can create your own scales essentially. But if you type in the notes for the Humayun and you put an E in the center, it's actually a great scale. But there's too much tension and the center note's too close to the one. And then the demo that I love, the guys at Ditch Project, I'm friends with them, but that demo was like, I couldn't even listen to the demo of that instrument because it was so nonsensical, just because the scale is really hard to work with. So Florian, if you probably know this already, but anybody that doesn't know this already, I offer one-on-one Zoom lessons that are song-based. So you learn through playing a song. You're going to get to actually have a piece at the end of those classes. And Rewildyoursoulmusic.com is my website for anyone listening to it posthumously. But Florian, if you focus on, so if I hit here, there's a lot of finger noise, right? But if I move to the far right, where I'm closer to the rim, it's a lot more hollow. And then if I pair that movement with staying on a rib, and you can kind of see the ribs on the older generations just by feeling them, and there's a little bit of a bump there. But that rib is going to allow you to get a much cleaner sound. So if I'm playing, and I'm also coming at it very flat fingered, so I'm making a really fleshy strike. The other thing too with, this is true for handpans as well, but if I'm playing and I want to get a really strong strike without having to lift my hand up, if I use my fingers as leverage, even if I keep my pinky out like this, if I flick my pointer finger down while I lift up these fingers, it gives my pointer finger about double the strength. So you can really get a nice sound, especially on a slap, with very little motion, because I'm using that flick up of those other fingers to create that sound. So try that. Try it with your pointer finger first. You can also try it with your middle finger. But this song is off of my old album, Lex Natura. Probably one of my favorite pieces I ever wrote on this scale, and the most requested when people are listening to my performances. So this is a gem. rubber rim or the gold rim like this generation? Has their own sort of sound. That's strange. Did I ever give you the link to the YouTube video that has it for people that funded the album? I can send you it on there if you can't get it on Tidal. From America on the East Coast. How's your day going, Chris? I don't know. It's a really good question. If you send me an email, I can get you that link, Gur. Travel out of Germany for that? Changing from my friends here that are in different countries. Here it's perfect time to see the leaves change color. And I just came from Cape Cod, which is in Massachusetts. What scale did you get, Chris? Yeah, there seems to be quite a number of RAVs still being sold. There's some innovations that are coming along the line as well. A land of pirates and lobster rolls. Ah, yes, very much so. I'm actually going to be moving to the Cape. So Cape Cod is in my future in the next month or so. B Celtic is a great scale. You chose really, really well. For anybody just joining us, I have maybe 3 or 4 spots open in my one-on-one classes. And they're song-based classes where you can learn the handpan or RAV. And you learn it through songs. You learn techniques, but it's in the container of you're actually learning a piece that I wrote to teach that skill. So it's very fun. I had 4 of them today, and I have 1 more later on tonight. Let me play you guys something else. What do I have up here? I have a pygmy with me. Want to hear something on the pygmy? So I want to give you guys an example, actually, of 2 songs, same exact song, played on 2 different scales that sound very different from each other. So, let's see. Yeah, this is a G pigment, correct. Sorry, just reading the chat there. Yeah, revs are such a fun instrument and they're super accessible, so you will love it, Chris. Do you find E4 on the B chord less clear? Let me check. Not on this particular one, but I will. So these are all of the notes on mine. You know, it's interesting. I don't really know the answer to that. It's a good question. All of my notes are very clear on this chord, but it's possible that one has a coupling with another note. I think I probably won't join that Handpan Academy. I've had various offers from different people. For me, I do think I want to continue to develop these song packets. So instead of selling courses of lessons, I want to sell different levels of learning with a song attached to them, kind of what I do in my one-on-one lessons. So people could buy 3 songs or 2 songs that are at beginner skill level. By the end of it, they'll know this, and this skill, and they'll be able to play it in context. So kind of a fun way of doing it. Thanks, Jace. I appreciate it. You guys are so kind. I have so many nice friends and students, so you guys are amazing. Yeah, it's totally possible. If you want to send me a video of that note, then feel free to send it Smooth Jazz Man. Yeah, I think song packs will be kind of fun, and then it's more about learning a composition like you would normally. I mean, the technical end of things is something to learn, but until you put it into something, it's just noise. So I teach my classes through song, so it's a little more fun to learn that way. So I think I can probably do it by marketing song packs or song courses, so should be fun. Also, Smooth Jazz Man, your strike may be to blame too. When you're striking, see if you can aim towards, you probably know this already, the far end of the note, and try to use a very flat finger and use a flicking motion like this rather than this or with a point. I can make a good sound with all of them, but I just play all day, so I'm used to doing it different ways. But this sort of flat finger, flicking your other fingers up at the same time as that one down, that'll help you a lot. So, same to you, my friend. Good to talk to you. If anybody's looking to get in touch too, rewildyoursoulmusic.com has my email address on there, and you're welcome to reach out. Also, Rewild Your Soul on Instagram as well. It's a great place to find me. So this is a song on 2 different scales. I'm going to play on the G pigment to start. And this is Ouroboros. This was on Wild Spaces. And I'm just going to play the first half of it, or maybe one time through, and I want you to compare between these 2 scales as well. Yeah. So I bet you that's what it is, my friend. This instrument is very much about small movements rather than larger movements. A lot of my students come from djembe or drum kits. Imagine it's more of like a flick motion and less of a large motion, and that should fix it, I bet. So message me if it doesn't fix it, and I can point you in the direction of the video. So this is Ouroboros. Here we go. I actually wrote this song on the B chord, but when I played it on the G pygmy, I was in love. Let me know what this kind of evokes for you guys. listen to that same exact song. I'm only going to change the root notes on the bottom of the scale, but the pattern's the same, pretty much the same melody with different notes. Which one do you prefer? Oops. Which one do you prefer, the G pygmy last time or this B chord? This is a little bit different sounding. Very different. Let's see. Yep, I agree with that. Yeah, the chord honestly I think has the better assortment of intervals of any scale, but pygmy has a lot of chords that are adaptable to things. But in terms of just potential, there's a lot of potential in the chord if you're someone that is into writing pieces. I have probably as much material in the B chord as I have on the pygmy, but they're both great scales. There's very few Rav scales that I don't really like. One of the ones that I find hard to work with is the F sharp Insen scale. That doesn't exist anymore, but it is kind of a funky scale. So, all right. Other requests for instruments? I think I have some other stuff up here. What do I have? I have a Celtic. You want to hear a B Celtic? Yeah, I know. Like, what the heck were they thinking with? I agree completely. So this is a Celtic. This is a really old Celtic. This is from 2016 or so. A lot of the Revs that are being sold now for a pretty cheap price. There was some counterfeits on the market that looked like the old generation, like this one. This one is actually an old one, but the way you can tell, the older generation has a rolled shell, so you can see the lines on it. So if you go to buy a used Rav that's from the oldest generation and it doesn't have this type of shell, it could be a counterfeit. That doesn't mean anything about the sound necessarily, but if you care about those sorts of things, then be aware of it. So this is a song that was on my first album, actually. So the best, is it with your ring finger? So I'm doing my pointer finger on this part of the instrument here. So right on the rib, the side of the instrument. Flat fingered, very flat fingered, with a good flick down like that. So exercises, I would say, Chris, first thing you should do is get a really nice quality strike. That's gonna be the thing that holds you back the most at first. Maybe not, some people pick it up and make a sound right away, but not poking. Don't do this when you play. Try to have a downwards flick. And imagine you're moving in like a straight line. So if let me angle, there's my snack here. If I'm playing, I wanna make sure that my finger is going like this. And I'm hitting far to the edge of the note. And I'm also moving in one plane. I'm not doing this or doing this. I'm using small motions. Same with the thumb. My thumb is going pretty much straight down, and I'm using my fingers a little bit to flick up to get a good sound, but you can also just imagine you're lifting up and bringing it down. This is gonna save your hands from hurting a lot. So you can practice when you first get it, just walking up the scale with your thumbs. Trying it with your pointer fingers. Aiming for the lowest part of the notes. Your middle fingers you're going to use eventually maybe. You're never going to use your ring finger. You're never going to use your pinky. You can train them. It's a waste of your time, honestly. I play professionally. I teach as a job. I never use these two fingers unless I'm doing like a nail rope. But I don't really think it sounds nice on these revs anyways, but these are the main three fingers probably you're going to use if you use more than these two. Other thing you could practice too is playing the center and picking two of the notes on the same side. So if I wanted to just practice playing dyads, I can play them with the thumb and pointer finger, and I can pick either, this is the, let's see, 1 and 3, this is the right side, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7, 6, and 8. And I'm picking one of those sides, and then I'm hitting the center 3 times. So we're using 4 beats. First is the dyad, next 2 and 3 strikes are the center. And then you can kind of feel around connecting those. And of course, if you want to play it in a song for lessons, give me a touch, but this would be an example of what I'm talking about. So thumbs, pointer fingers, and if you use 4 beats, pick 2 notes. So in this case, I'm going to play the 6th and the 8th. And then the second time I'm going to do a slap on the center using my pointer finger in this harmonic area. And then 3 more center strikes. So 6 and 8, center, 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 slap, center, center, center. 5 and 7, slap, center, center, center. 4 and 6, and 3 and 5. You can do that with any of the notes on the same side. The easy way to remember the number system, which I recommend using, because then, although I'm a musician that plays like 50 instruments, it's pattern based on these instruments. So if you use the numbers, you can take one song from one instrument without having to transpose it note-wise to another scale. So much easier. Oh yeah, you won't have to do 3 in one hand. You can just using 2. But if you were playing a triad, you could maybe almost reach 3 notes at one time. But I love the low ding on the ELO Pygmy. It's like a kick drum. For my next rev, I want to keep that aspect. Yeah, I think ELO Pygmy is a fantastic choice for sort of groove style music and more percussive music. I think the G Pygmy would work pretty well for that too. If you want something spicy, the B Anolio is a really nice percussion-oriented scale. And yeah, I think those would be my 3 major recommendations aside from the curry, which you already have. Yeah, no problem, Chris, absolutely. Let's see. Am I missing half notes on the E seem like bass notes? Yeah, let me grab the ELO Pygmy so you can hear it compared to the G Pygmy. Give me 1 second. I'll grab that. It is very low, so it's good for some things, but not others. So this is the Elo Pygmy. And hey, DJ Daffy Duck. Oh, it's amazing. Very cool. I'll definitely check out your channel. So this is the Elo Pygmy. Mr. Smooth Jazz Man. Are you a guitar player as well, Smooth Jazz Man? What's your name? Too. I keep calling you Smooth, Mr. Smooth Jazz Man, but so Elo Pygmy. This one is kind of nice because you have a lot of sort of rich sound from it. I like keeping my hand low on this scale, and you're going to hear that you hear the harmonics because it is so low. More if you move one side to the other. So if you're looking for the cleanest sound, I recommend using a thumb, but also a little bit of the pad. It has a really nice harmonic too, so I think if you focus pulling your hands low, you'll get a nice growl. What I tend to like about low instruments, especially ravs, is that the lower they are, the more they have this sort of like growl sound, and it's good for a particular playing style. So, highly recommended. Great scale. Listen to how messy Ouroboros sounds on here though. You have to approach this less as a fast melodic instrument and more as a quick percussive instrument, or a very slow melodic instrument as well. So listen to the difference. It works, it's just very low. All right, any last questions or requests for hearing any scales? If anybody's interested, I have a B Celtic double ding for sale, and it's from the Golden Rim generation, but the one right before this one. And if you're interested in my lessons, I offer one-on-one song-based Zoom lessons every day, except for the weekends. And you can find me on rewildyoursoulmusic.com. And also, if you look on Spotify and search Rewild Your Soul, I have 3 albums up there. And thank you, Florian, I appreciate you. Yeah, and in my album, Wild Spaces is the most recent one. It has a handpan and rav, and it was all recorded outside in nature in acoustic places. So abandoned buildings, caves, waterfalls. It's a great listen, has some of my favorite songs on it. And also the one before that, Lux Natura, is an all rav album. So if you want to hear rav played as an instrument for songs and not just percussion or not just for meditation, I recommend you check that out. So thank you guys for hanging out. It was a pleasure. And again, feel free to reach out to me on Rewild Your Soul on my Instagram page or rewildyoursoulmusic.com. Thank you for hanging out. This was a fun stream. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. So I hope to see you on the next one. If you have any ideas for things you want to see in the future, be sure to write that in the comments on a video, okay? Have a good one, my friends. Stay well.